Lights, camera, action. It's recap movie club time, and we've got a film that's sure to keep you on the edge of your seat. Join us now. The movie starts with an online lesson taught by the main character, an English teacher, Charlie, but his camera is turned off. One of the students accidentally sends a question about it to the general chat room. To this, Charlie replies that the camera is broken. Having handed out the homework, the hero proceeds to the routine, collapsing his overly obese body. He's watching a video of a pumped-up guy. Suddenly, for this he is caught by the missionary of the local church with sect elements, Thomas, bashfully covering the screen. The teacher asks him to read aloud an essay about Moby Dick. The text helps the fat guy recover from a heart attack-like attack. The guy offers to call an ambulance, but Charlie refuses. He doesn't go to hospitals because he doesn't have insurance. Instead, he calls his friend, Liz, the nurse who takes care of him. But to do so, he has to pick up the phone, which has fallen to the floor, and he's unable to do it himself. The hero asks Thomas to help, and when Liz arrives, he insists that Charlie must go to the hospital, even if it drives him into debt so huge that it makes him seem tiny against it. After examining the hero, the nurse hands him a walker to go to the bathroom. Liz and Thomas discuss church matters, and the nurse advises the young man not to recruit the hero, for he dislikes the local church after the death of his boyfriend. Liz warns that with these readings, Charlie will die within a week, but he is still against the hospital and prefers to wait to die in the company of a bucket of chicken wings. In the evening, left alone, Charlie rereads the salvation essay, the main leitmotif of Moby Dick, the urge to kill the great white whale, which is in tune with Charlie's own fatalistic mood and size, repeating from memory with a monstrously obese man. He goes to the bedroom, where he even gets into bed with the help of a special device. He collapses in bed, causing by his appearance a persistent association that Blade is about to appear with an ultraviolet lamp and start asking about the blood god Lamagra. In the morning, after refusing the candy bar, Charlie Googles information about heart failure, convinced that with his weight and blood pressure he's headed for the cemetery. With a clear conscience, he chucks the candy. After thinking about it, the man takes out his cell phone and calls someone. After that, he thoroughly tidies himself up. He washes and shaves. Charlie visits Ellie, his teenage daughter, seeing her father for the first time in 8 years. The girl asks a worrying question. She, too, will be so blown away as she gets older. The hero is interested in the school affairs of his daughter, but she is not set up for a frank conversation. She has quite objective reasons for this. Her father left her and her mother 8 years ago. Switching to some student, Ellie wants to leave when the hero offers to pay her for company as well as help with lessons. Thinking, the girl realizes that she can get a profit. She agrees. Preliminary clarifying the amount of money we are talking about to finally seal the deal, she asks Charlie to approach her without the help of walkers. The girl watches as her father tries in vain to get up, dropping the coffee table, and when it falls, closes the door and leaves. Later, the hero gets a pizza delivered. He doesn't open the door, having previously left the charge in the mailbox. Also, no one can see the monstrously fattened carcass. Liz brings him a new device and teaches him a breathing technique to control his blood pressure. She notices the homework left behind by Ellie. Nurse doesn't like the fact that Charlie has been bypassing his mother's prohibition to see his daughter. The hero looks at the girl's social networking page. Leaving, the nurse serves Charlie sandwiches and asks him not to communicate with his daughter so as not to upset her with his appearance and well-being. Suddenly, Charlie chokes and chokes. In anger, she begs him to chew his food like a normal person, which brings him to tears. While doing another online tutorial, Charlie stumbles across an old photo. He goes to the locked room, but drops the key, which he can't pick up. It rolled under the door. Later, the man is visited by his daughter for homework. The professor explains to her what is wrong in the text, but the girl prefers to sit in the phone, dumping on her father the care of the essay. The hero tries to enthuse her, but she keeps snapping at him. When it comes to her mother, the girl is about to leave. Charlie says she's entitled to do that. He's going to pay her the money anyway. These words almost hurt Ellie. She thought her father wanted to get to know her better. He does. But Charlie doesn't want to force her against her will to sit and think to herself. When the hell will take him, the girl stays, and the conversation about her mother spills over into a conversation about how the hero has gotten fat. The reason is hidden in the depression after the death of the boyfriend, which Charlie has been eating up, but he doesn't want to talk about it. But he asks his daughter to write an essay for him, something sincere on a free topic. Leaving his pen and notebook behind, the hero moves stately as a whale through the house to the toilet, where he sobs in front of the mirror. There's a knock at the door. It's Thomas. Ellie lets the missionary in, but her sarcastic comments make him want to leave, pouring juice and offering to visit tomorrow. The girl leaves, leaving Thomas alone with his host. The young man tells Charlie about his cult, but he is already aware of all their pamphlets. But Thomas, as a true Christian, provides as much help as he can. Pulls out the fallen key. For this work they are caught by Liz. She has brought an extended size wheelchair, putting Charlie in it. The woman takes Thomas outside for a chat. She asks where he's from and laughs when she learns that the missionaries are from a neighboring state. Liz asks the guy to get behind Charlie, telling the story of her older brother, who was abandoned by his father because of his sexual preference. The latter was Charlie's boyfriend. Internal conflict drove the guy to self-destruction, which, in turn, led to gluttony of the hero. In the evening, Charlie rolls in a chair into an open room, its bedroom untouched since long ago. Later, a pizza delivery guy named Dan brings another order through the door to meet a regular customer. Charlie looks through a notebook where Ellie has written only 3 lines, but it's the size of a haiku. Afterward, the hero rereads the essay, into which his daughter's words are woven. Ellie visits for the essay while Charlie prints out her homework. He asks her to write something else. On something reluctantly agrees. In the process, the hero tries to talk, but the daughter snaps at him, say he from childhood taught her by example that all people are unequivocally scum. The girl cries that her father could at least occasionally call, despite her mother's prohibitions. Hungry, the girl makes sandwiches as her father dozes off in his wheelchair. She wanders around the house, inspecting the decorations. She walks into her father's bedroom, after which she compares it to the second bedroom, where nothing has changed since the boyfriend's death. Thomas knocks on the door, letting him in. The girl confesses that she slipped her father's sleeping pills to smoke pot in peace. The young man wants to leave, or she blackmails him by threatening to feed her father the rest of the pills. She asks why the missionary comes to Charlie time after time when he talks about saving his soul. The eager teen threatens to call the police and accuse him of rape. When Thomas gets high on pot, the girl admits she wouldn't do anything like that. It's just a crackpot Ellie keeps poking around until he gets stoned and locks himself in the bedroom. She wants to know what the reason for his excessive religiosity. The young man admits it's because of his pot abuse. His father exiled him to a church camp. Thomas didn't like just handing out flyers. He wanted to get more involved in people's lives. The priest rejected his initiative, so he stole the parish money and fled to another state, where he joined a local sect. Now with no money and no way to get home, he stands at a crossroads, not knowing what to do with his life. The frank conversation is interrupted by the appearance of Liz and the girl's mother Mary. They bring the emotionless Charlie to his senses and Thomas leaves. The conversation turns to money, with the mother wondering how much her father has offered. Liz laughingly says that Charlie has no money, not even for the hospital. But it turns out that he was lying to the nurse. In fact, he has plenty of money in his bank account. An insulted Liz, reminding him that she spared no expense while he saved money, leaves, followed by her mother kicking out her daughter, who tells Charlie lastly that she doesn't care about him and wishes he were dead. He praises her for her essay, but the teenager takes her notebook and leaves. Mary, after drinking vodka from her ex-husband's supply, reprimands him for blabbing to her daughter about the money. The deal was to put the stash away for college. They reminisce about married life, after which they smoothly move on to parenting issues. The conversation naturally descends into just accusations against Charlie and futile remorse on his part. Mary reveals that Ellie is not just a troubled teenager, she is truly evil. As proof, the woman shows her social networking page. The girl published a photo of her father for all to see with sarcastic comments. The hero tries to justify the daughter, but the woman does not want to listen to anything. Instead of escalating the quarrel, she tells how she once met a guy to whom her husband left. Instead of scolding, she helped him carry his bags without ever admitting who she was. Mary hugs her fatter ex-boyfriend to listen to him breathe heavily. And a sympathetic Charlie recalls their trip to the beach together, the last time he swam in the sea. Afterwards, she confesses that she is dying. Before he dies, Charlie wants to make sure Ellie is okay, but Mary aggressively replies that he left her a long time ago. And it's too late to pretend he didn't. She walks away, leaving Charlie sobbing. Soon the hero dozes off. Waking up, he drops his phone. A pizza delivery guy knocks on the door, who inquires, "Is everything okay with the heroes?" After waiting for a pause, Charlie pulls the pizza out onto the porch and sees the delivery guy waiting in the distance. When he notices the huge carcass, he snorts contemptuously and walks away without saying a word. He goes into the group chat room and gives the students a new assignment: write something honest. The last slices of pizza hero generously sprinkles mayonnaise to enhance flavor and nutrition. And when it is over, he starts to sharpen sandwiches and other supplies, until he began to vomit. Thomas catches him doing it. He walks in and nervously admits that he's not the man he thought he was. But Ellie takes a picture, finds his parents in the stolen church, and the kinfolk forgive him and wait for him to return home. Encouraged and grateful, Thomas wants to help Charlie before he leaves. He quotes a passage from the Bible he found in his boyfriend's bedroom, which does not share his youthful enthusiasm. Charlie calmly talks about his relationship. He admits that he doesn't want to believe in an afterlife so the boyfriend doesn't see the light he's become. Unable to stand it, Thomas calls the hero repulsive, which he immediately regrets. After seeing the guest off, Charlie rolls into the bedroom, where the photos of the deceased boyfriend are admired. The hero conducts another lesson. He reads out to the students the messages they responded to the last assignment with to emphasize the importance of honesty by example. Charlie turns on the webcam so they can see his enormous body. He spins the camera around, showing himself from all angles, after which he says that nothing in life matters, except what they themselves think. With those words, the teacher throws the laptop against the wall, ending the lesson. Liz walks in, silently stepping over the wreckage of the device. She pulls out her stethoscopes to listen to the hero's breathing. She reprimands him, realizing that Charlie, like her brother, is only moving toward death in a twisted way. Suddenly, Charlie starts mumbling that Ellie wanted to help, that she wasn't evil and meant well. A concerned Liz asks if he's feeling dizzy. Ellie bursts through the door. She asks what's going on after hearing from the nurse that her father is dying. The woman asks to let her talk to him alone. The girl yells at the man for the essay he wrote that failed the exam. She hasn't read it herself, but it turns out to be her own school essay, written years ago. It is the one Charlie has reread over and over again, in tears. He apologizes for leaving her once. When his chest squeezes with pain, the girl wants to leave and call an ambulance, but the hero asks to stay and read the essay. The girl freezes in the aperture of the open door, illuminated by the rays of the sun, tears streaming down her face. She unfolds and reads her old essay while her father, overcoming more gravity, gets to his feet and walks towards her. The girl steps toward him to ease the final path to redemption. And at that moment, Charlie's feet lift off the floor, and he flies upward into a shining white light. And that's the end of the movie.